Right, 22 April 2024, and today I am excited to be giving you the first update of this week. We're going to be having a very eventful week this week. There is a lot that is happening, and we want to start with the latest headlines. And this is with regards to Auxilia Mnangagwa. As I've been saying to you, Auxilia Mnangagwa has been campaigning for her sons to become the next Zimbabwe presidents or leaders in ZANU-PF. And this has caused massive tension in ZANU-PF. I've been saying this, and many people did not understand what I was saying. But today, if you look at the latest national newspapers, they are giving more detail about what has been happening with regards to Auxilias rallies. And specifically, the Newsday is leading with the headline that ZANU-PF has now banned all rallies or all thank you rallies that have been taking place around the country. And this includes the rallies that have been held by Auxilia Mnangagwa together with Barbara Rodzi and the other Mnangagwa dynasty members who have been going around the country. So these rallies have now been officially banned, and there's not going to be any rallies going on around the country. However, Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is the first lady, has not stopped. She actually has changed the rallies that she was holding, and she's now gone to the kids. She's now doing what is called Auxilia Mnangagwa Camp for Girls. So I don't know how crazy that is, but yesterday she did hold another one. You can see this rally that she held here. She was addressing the children from around the country, and she's continuing. She stopped the cookouts, which were at the university level, where she was campaigning for the twins at the level of the university. And she's now gone to the kids, whom she has asked to become ambassadors for the First Lady. So if you go to the state press, you're going to see that she was looking at these kids. She got kids from all over the country to come and be in her camp for girls. So she's now doing camp for girls, and this includes Zayoja. So Zayoja is now been robbed into this whole thing, particularly Overseer Samndombe, the lady who was there. She was actually standing in for Yunaguti. So that was happening yesterday. So I don't know if this is Samndombe, but I think this is a lady who was part of the procession. I think Overseer Samndombe looks much better or much more different than this. But I'll find a picture for you as we go, so that you can understand who is who was part of this camp for girls. And this is, in my view, a very critical mistake that Auxilia Mnangagwa is making. So I found a picture of Overseer Rejoice Samndombe. That is Overseer Rejoice Samndombe. The apologies for the first picture. I'm sure I'll find the name of that lady who I put up there. But so the way I see it, the ED Mnangagwa family, I don't think they've got an idea of where to go from here, and it's going to be very difficult for them. So let me take you to what else happened. So Kuda Mnangagwa was in Rwanda as we speak for a state visit. So this is Kuda Mnangagwa here. He visited the State Bank, the National Bank. He visited the Stock Exchange. He also visited the Ministry of Finance over there. And he's a deputy minister. He had all these high-level meetings here. You can check it out online on the Rwanda platforms. So the Mnangagwa family, they are doing something that has never been seen in any country. So in any country, you cannot see what is happening right now in Zimbabwe, where the president or his children, so that is Kuda, Emerson Jr., and I think there's a guy in tourism there, Tongai, and then Goshon. So the four guys are all in the government. We also have the daughter of Mnangagwa owning the biggest newspaper through her husband, the Newsday newspaper, and all these guys in the stable. So basically, they have taken the public space and basically cornered it, and it's going to be very difficult for them to release. And this is where we are. This is what we're seeing here with Auxilia. She's trying to preserve this niche that they'd created here in Zimbabwean politics. But it's clear that things are falling apart. And the reason why things are falling apart is economically, the Zimbabwe government has failed, and the government of Mnangagwa has failed to transform the economy of Zimbabwe. They have made it worse. Everything is now worse under Mnangagwa. And the people are not going to tolerate such a thing. The economy, that is the end of Mnangagwa, the way the economy is. And it cannot be fixed. Mnangagwa cannot fix what is there now because it's structural. And that is why you see Auxilia is trying very hard to see if she can continue, extend the rule of the Mnangagwas, but it's not going to work. And the newspaper here, the Newsday newspaper says, Mnangagwa had an agreement with Chwienga. So this is in the paper. I'm not making this up. Mnangagwa had an agreement with Chwienga that he will be in office for one term. And then Chwienga will take on for the second term. So this is why there is this clash between General Chwienga and the Mnangagwa family. And as I said to you, you can go and look at this in the Newsday newspaper. It's there. ZANU-PF has stopped all the thank you rallies where the slogan 2030 Mnangagwa Chipo was being chanted. So that those rallies have officially been stopped. But Auxillia Mnangagwa is continuing. She's now going to the children through the Nhanga Gota program, in which she calls children from around the country and asks them to become what she calls ambassadors of the First Lady. So you can go and have a look at that. That is the trending story. It's going to be big. This is going to be defining because ZANU-PF succession, that is where you should all be looking. ZANU-PF succession and the military, that is where our next change is going to come from. Chamisa has tweeted today, he talked about behold the new or the coming of the new. So I'll find that tweet for you. But I know what's happening on Chamisa's side. So I was supposed to have the guys here yesterday to talk to some of the guys. And it's going to become a bit more clearer this week. You're going to see a little bit more clarity as Chibaya has started this week to go around the country. And what they are going to be doing is they are going to be creating new structures for the new movement. So that is starting this week. And they are not using the CCC structures anymore. They have disassociated themselves from the old CCC structures. So Anamkwananzi, Anachawangu, all those guys, they're not working with Chamisa, as I explained to you. There's going to be a new set of structures being formed, which are going to be used to launch what is coming. So this is something that is almost official. You can believe what I'm saying here. You're going to see by this week going all over the country. There is also going to be meetings in Matabeleland, particularly Chabangu and Ncube. They seem to be teaming up, and they're going to be in Caesar. And I believe that the guys who are also on Chamisa's side are going to be in the same area. I do not know what is happening over there, but there's going to be a move to start setting up structures. And Prince Jobekos Banda is leading this whole process together with Chibaya and Ostalos. So the three guys are the team that is leading the setting up of the new structures for Chamisa's new movement, or Chamisa's new, I don't want to say political party, because Chamisa is setting up platforms. He's setting up a platform, he's not setting up a political party. So the difference between a political party and a platform is that a platform accepts everyone and it's broad-based and it can grow beyond a political party and the problems of a political party. This is what Chamisa is doing. So I'll give you more details as the week goes. Chibaya is going to be starting that process today, as early as today. He's going to be going around the country setting up those structures. However, as I said, look at the ZANU-PF succession. This is where everything's going to happen in the immediate short term, which is this month. Within this month and next month, you're going to see something very, very big. I explained to you that Mnangagwa's government was going to collapse before the end of this month. This was averted slightly by the introduction of the new currency, but this new currency, the ZiG, is collapsing also, and you're going to see something very massive within a very short space of time. These things that are happening here are immediate. They're not in the long term. They're happening right now as you speak. It's history in the making. Now, I want to take you to the 3 funerals or memorial services that took place yesterday. So yesterday I said I was going to come and give you an update on the parade for the 4 soldiers. The parade was held, and that was officiated by CDF Valerius Banda. So Valerius Banda was over there. Opam Chinguri was over there, and that was at Kwekwe. And we have now seen the 2 cars for the first time. The 2 cars that were involved in a crash. And it's very interesting when you look at that accident scene and the cars, you see that there's very, very interesting what it looks like here. So these are the 2 cars that were involved in the accident. You see that both cars are badly damaged on the front. So they had a head-on collision. And the other thing that you see is that all these 2 cars had bulletproof at the sides. So they're all not damaged on the side. They're heavily bulletproofed on the side. That is my assessment of this scene. When I looked at these cars, they're heavily bulletproofed. So what I'm missing here from the report that was done by ZBC last night. So for the first time, ZBC admitted that there were 2 cars involved and that the 2 soldiers or 2 groups of soldiers were in different cars. We still miss the 3rd car. We're not seeing where the 3rd car is. We're also missing information on the injured soldiers. Who are the injured soldiers and where are they? Have they been interviewed? Because they said initially that these soldiers who survived this accident, some were at Kwekwe, some were at Gweru. So who are these soldiers? And want to hear more, because right now we're hearing stories, but where are those soldiers? So you know that the soldiers that are deceased is Brigadier General Vezha, obviously, then Major Thbani Ncube here. I've been showing you Major Thbani Ncube for some time now, and we've got Major Mqondisi Gumbo here. He is one of the deceased, and we've got a Sergeant Learnmore Chakabaiwa here. So Sergeant Learnmore Chakabaiwa also passed away in this accident. He was the most junior of them all. The 2 guys, Gumbo and Ncube, are going to be buried in Bulawayo, and Brigadier General Vezha is going to be buried at the National Heroes Acre. That's my belief. So that is yet to be announced. And at the same time, there's also going to be the burial of Nash Zimiri, that is the Director General in Mnangagwa's office, who passed away. He's head of the unit there in Mnangagwa's office, I think responsible for investments. And he's been in this office since 1982, if I'm not mistaken. He's been here for a very, very long time. So his family was actually having a funeral service for him. And I wanted to show you the difference between these 2, the soldiers and the Director General in Mnangagwa's office. There's a massive difference in how these people are living. The guys who work with Mnangagwa, they're doing quite well. Their houses are okay. And the guys that work in the army, they don't look so good. They live in squalid conditions. So unfortunately, if I show you this house, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is Zimiri's house. I want to show you the difference. So this is Zimiri's house here, where the funeral is taking place. And I was showing you the other day the house of General Vezha. So these guys are living quite well. The guys that work with Mnangagwa, and I don't think he takes care of all the guys that are in the army and in the outskirts. So it's quite a sad situation that is taking place over there. But let me not get distracted. Let's go to the 3rd funeral, which is the funeral of Shumirai Moyo that took place at her rural home yesterday. And the mother spoke there, the father spoke. You can go and look at that. It's all over the place. And this is Shumirai's mother here. She is an MP. So 3 funerals, or 1 memorial, 2 memorials and 1 funeral. That was held yesterday. Massive bad week for ZANU-PF. Senior people not doing well. And as I was saying, this was the procession. Opam Chinguru was over here. And then officers were also over there. There were men officers who sat over there. And then Nash Zimiri, who passed away from President's office, he's also been declared a national hero. So we've got two funerals coming, 2 national heroes that are going to be buried this week. And this is the family here at Nash Zimiri's house. This is his wife over here. She's called, let me show his wife. She's called Edna Zimiri, and also the daughter here, Joyful Zimiri. So these are the people that you have to know about, these people that passed away So that is what happened in terms of the deaths. Two national heroes. We're going to have the funerals over there, and it's very important. We're going to see what Mnangagwa is going to say during all those speeches. He did not attend yesterday where the soldiers were. And as I said, we're still missing the third car. We're still missing the injured soldiers. Who are the injured soldiers? Where are they? What is their state? I understand one of the soldiers passed away at hospital. Which one passed away at the hospital? And what's happening? So as I said, the two cars have been seen bulletproofed on the side. That is what I saw, and that is what I thought. I think the guys who are in security, you can check for me and confirm if these two cars were bulletproofed, and if that is standard practice in the army to travel around with bulletproof cars, because they are not damaged on the side at all, or the damage is only at the front. That is what I saw here. And then in terms of Valerius Banda seemed to be taken aback because when he was speaking, they put ZANU-PF in his speech. So I want to show you that. It's very important.
We must therefore uphold the principles and values that the late Brigadier General has left us. Due to his unquestionable loyalty to our country, hard work and commitment to the well-being of Zimbabwe and its people, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and the party ZANU-PF have seen it fit to bestow on him the national hero status.
Right, so you can see the pause. He had a long pause there when they mentioned the name ZANU-PF. What these guys are doing with declaration of soldiers and heroes, it's all partisan, and it's quite embarrassing to a professional soldier to have to read the name of a political party at an army function. So I don't know what they're going to do. I talked to some guys in the army yesterday, and they said, this is how it is. National heroes are declared by ZANU-PF. They're not declared by the government. So anything to do with national heroes, it's coming from ZANU-PF. And if you're not in ZANU-PF, you cannot be a national hero. And if you're at a certain level, you're automatically a national hero. So someone like Vezha is automatically a national hero. And we'll be following the Vezha situation because obviously he's still going to be buried, and want to hear and see what those other soldiers are going to say happened on that particular day of the accident. Now, I want to follow another story here, and that is the last story I'm going to cover today. That is the story of Sadomba, the musician, the soccer player. I'm saying musician here, the soccer player. So this soccer player has had a massive payment made to him by an Egyptian club. So he's Edward Sadomba. 450,000. He won an arbitration after they've ended his contract. And he has been awarded 450,000, and that story is in the H Metro newspaper, after he sold his house, massive house, to pay for the arbitration fees. That was $60,000 that was required, but he was lucky enough to win the arbitration, so he's been paid $450,000. So you can go and have a look at that story in the H Metro newspapers. And then in South Africa, there is a trending story. Selo Mark Ncube, he's been awarded a fake doctorate, honorary doctorate by a university called the Trinity International University of Theology or something along those lines. And this, the Minister of Education has come out to say this is fake, and this university is not accredited. So if you're in Zimbabwe and you see something called Trinity University of Theology or Bible University, do not go there. It's fake. And then South African DJ Peter Mashata has been shot dead outside Tshwane University of Technology, so just outside Pretoria. Some armed gunmen shot him dead in his car. So that is a trending story. And then let's look at the newspapers. I want to see if the Herald is out. If the Herald is out, I'll give you the headlines. And then if not, we'll see what else is there. So lucky for us, the Herald appears to be out. No, it appears to be not out. So the Herald is not out. And let's see if the Chronicle newspaper is out. If it's not out, then we'll move on to the comments, and then we'll wrap up. So I want to look at, okay, it's not out also. So none of these newspapers is out. What is happening this week in Bulawayo is obviously the ZITF. So that newspaper is out for a fact. So let me share that headlines with you, the Chronicle newspaper. The guys at the Chronicle doing very well, but I think they've had some editorial changes. So I don't know what's happening there. So let's look at these stories. And I want to quickly show you the stories that are there. We are looking here at ZANU-PF oversubscribed, ready to roll. So this is a massive development. The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair is doing very, very well. The management at that ZANU-PF is very good. The guys over there are doing a good job. And let's see what happens, what comes out of this. If only they could manage everything else in this way. A lot of exhibitors are interested in coming to Zimbabwe. And I think there is a minister here called Mqondisi. He said that 100% occupation and they put an additional tent. So that is what is coming out in the Chronicle newspaper. And then we've got Nash Dzimiri here. Am I having this correct name? Nash Dzimiri. Yes, it's called Nash Nyasha Dzimiri. So Nash stands for Nyasha. That's his name there. That is the late comrade Nash Nyasha Dzimiri in Mnangagwa's office. He is a director general there, President Mnangagwa's office. He passed away on last week. And then we have the National Assembly ballot printing for Harare Metropolitan, Harare East, and Mount Pleasant. ZEC is published here. You can go and look at that. So I'm not going to read the whole newspaper. What I'm looking for here is the league, the log. I want to show you guys the log. Right. So this is the log here. And the log is showing that Highlanders at the top with after 7 games with 14 points. Simba Bora with 13 points after 7 games. Platinum 6. So the top has not changed. Dynamos is now at number 7 with after 7 games got 9 points. So they've moved out of the relegation zone. So Dynamos has moved out of the relegation zone. You saw last week I was laughing at them. They're out. If you're a Dynamos supporter, Dynamos after playing 7 games has now won 2. And they now have 9 points. So Dynamos now in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's now in the top 7. And you can breathe a sigh of relief if you're a Dynamos supporter. The smaller teams are starting to move down. Victoria Minerals was doing very well. They're now starting to move down. And ZPC Kariba started very well. But I think they're starting to move lower and lower. They've got so many draws. They've got 5 draws, ZPC Kariba. But otherwise, you can see, I'll post this league on Gambakwe.com within the next 30 minutes so that you can see it yourself. But I think this is it for now. Let's look at other things tomorrow. For today, I think we're done. I would have loved to look at the H Metro newspaper because they always have something new, something interesting. So you can go and look at the website. But I know that what I normally get here is much better than what is in the other online newspaper. So I normally get the full newspaper here. And unfortunately, they don't have it as yet. So let's go to the comments and then we'll recap. Let's start with the comments. And I see that there's a lot of comments here. I'm going to start at the bottom today. Mkoma Masauza say Gambakwe Media greater than ZPC. Thank you, sir, and I really appreciate it. Gambakwe Captain Matapo Arigupi. I don't know where Captain Matapo is. Unfortunately, I think they killed him, and it's sad. Then Mkoma Epina said, "I'm afraid Gambakwe to not gonna kungo kushaya because you are talking too deep. You know, Raisa. No one is going to kill me. Mnangagwa cannot kill me. No one is allowed to kill anyone. So Musachke, Wakomana. If you see me dead, that is the last thing you're going to see. If you want to know, 2030, then the cheapo. That is the slogan. Then let's go to Tinashe Masoswa. The soldiers that were present have a lot to share. They are the only people to complete the puzzle. Yes, Mkoma. Where are those soldiers that are injured? And Edwin, Emmanuel, you're saying, Edwin Tinashe Mangwenzi, Taura Hako, Mdara, Chandino Dira, Chinika, Chedu, Chine, Runyararo, and Jasianani SA. Yes, that's correct. Zimbabwe is peaceful, although we are having some things happening here and there. But it's not like South Africa where anything can happen. And then, good morning, Haggai. Good morning, Stedman. Good morning, Emmanuel. Good morning, Chico. I think let's recap this and let's go into the heading of the day. Auxillia Mnangagwa and General Chwienga, they are clashing because Auxilia Mnangagwa is pushing Family. She's pushing the rallies. She's pushing the thank you rallies, Nhanga, Gota, and she's pushing the cookouts, which were seen as rallies. All these activities have been banned by ZANU-PF. There's no more thank you rallies. It's no longer allowed. It's official. You can go and look at this in the Newsday newspaper. However, Auxilia is continuing. She has started again with the national Nhanga, Gota, Ikliwa. I hope I didn't butcher that program, where she has little children who come and she continues with the activities. So yesterday, as I showed you, she was out there with these activities with Zayoja, and Overseer Joyce Samundombe was over there. And so the problem with this whole thing is that in ZANU-PF there is a clash, an open clash, where Chwienga is now saying ED was supposed to leave after the first term. And as I said, you can go and look at that in the Newsday newspaper. Chwienga is now saying, it's my turn now, I need to be in there. And the family of Mnangagwa, through Auxilia, they're trying to push the youngsters to become presidential or to become president. So either Kuda, Emerson Jr., or, well, I think those are the two who are at the front. And then obviously Collins, I don't think he's got the public profile yet. He is more of in the private space. But my understanding is that one of the three is being earmarked to become president. Whereas the family of, whereas General Chwienga is saying, it's me who is next in line. So this visit to Rwanda was telling, Mthuli Ncube was nowhere near this visit. So you got a deputy minister doing a national visit to another country. Very strange behavior. So I want to now end this, but I want to show you a few pictures from the parade. So this is the parade that was held for the soldiers. That is Vezha over here. And we had a lot of soldiers over there. There was a procession. And there was quite a large number of people. I was surprised at how many people were over here. There was a large number of people. So we're waiting to see what happened to those injured soldiers. So that was the procession. And here with the 4 coffins. So all of them at once. You can see all the 4 coffins at in one picture. So that is all the soldiers that died. And I want us to go back to their names, right? So we said Brigadier General Shadreck Vezha, Defense Attache Designate Tanzania, Major Mqondisi Gumbo, Second in Command 123 Infantry Battalion, Major Thbani Ncube, 4 Infantry Battalion, and Sergeant Learnmore Chakabaiwa. So I don't know where Sergeant Learnmore Chakabaiwa was, but these 3 that I've mentioned for you, they are the officers. Sergeant Chakabaiwa, I don't know where he's going to be buried, but I know that the 2 are going to be buried in Bulawayo. That is Gumbo and Ncube. They're going to be buried in Bulawayo. And then Brigadier General Vezha is going to be buried at the National Heroes Eka, if I'm not mistaken, because he's a national hero. And they're going to announce the date of the burial, probably to synchronize it with the Director General Nash Zimiri, who's also been declared a national hero. So we've got 2 national heroes being buried this week. And a very sad picture to look at. And as I said, the 2 pictures of the cars, they show me that these cars are bulletproof on the side. That is what I think I saw here. I'm not sure, but I think I saw that these 2 were not damaged on the side, which probably means they had bulletproof. So bulletproof material is usually made in such a way that it's very strong and it doesn't break on impact. So this is what I saw here. I looked around at these pictures and the sides of the car were totally not damaged. Only the fronts were damaged. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. And if anything big happens, you see me later on tonight. But during the day, we got 2 news bulletins from JCTV Zimbabwe. They come here on live and they show us what's happening in Zimbabwe, in Harare, in the morning around 10 and in the evening around 3. And then we got more bulletins throughout the day. So this is it for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good day to you all.